Aloha from the Hawaii News Now Digital Center. This is a live look at Kansas City, where a press conference is being held from a relative of the American family that was killed in a vicious ambush in Mexico. Let's listen in.
7 of the children survived. One was an infant of approximately 7 months. The other one, there is another infant. He's approximately 11 months. The small infant, the first one, was found alone. She's a baby girl, after approximately 11 hours of being alone inside the vehicle, after having believed to be dead. The other 6 little ones were able to escape, 5 of which were shot, 5 of which were wounded. 4 of those shot are in stable condition. The 5th is in critical, and as of right before I walked in here today, we don't have news that the child has been released from the surgery. The child's been in surgery since this morning. The Mexican government has offered assistance. They created support and safe passage for more family members of mine to travel this road and arrive to the scene of the crime. This happened yesterday. They arrived late last night. The Mexican National Secretary of Public Security has also contacted my family and ensured that my family and any other family members will continue to have safe passage through these small towns, through these small municipalities for the next few days for funeral services and any other necessary travels. The 2 state Mexican governments, Sonora and Chihuahua, have also joined in the assurance of safe passage for any and all family members between the highway and getting to the community. Now, the United States government has also offered support. However, this support has been limited because of what happens between 2 countries, has been limited to the boundaries of the United States. The U.S. government aided in receiving the 5 wounded children on the other side of the border and transporting them to the hospital to receive necessary medical treatment. This transportation happened via helicopters. There were 4 U.S. helicopters on the U.S. side of the Agua Prieta border in Sonora and the United States. It is believed that these helicopters belong to the FBI. My family has not been able to confirm that that is so, but the children arrived safely to the hospital and they're currently being treated for their injuries. During this difficult time, I am grateful for all your support, as well as the support of my great team. Even though it is a very difficult time, we will continue to receive our clients, continue to support our clients, and our communities here in Kansas City. At this time, I'm open to questioning if you guys have any questions.
On the news, they said some of the people were missing from the scene of the crime. Have they been found?
Those were the kids. The children, it is believed, again, we only have a 13-year-old boy's event. The way the events happened, we have a 13-year-old boy telling us what happened. So the 13-year-old boy was able to reach the community after being lost, is what everybody was saying, for several hours. He is the one that did not receive any wounds, any bullet shots. And he reached the community at night last night, and he let everybody know where the other 5 children were. All 5 of them were injured. All 5 of them were hiding in the bushes. And once the Mexican government arrived on the scene, the family was able to, once the Mexican government arrived, the cartels stopped shooting. They stopped attacking each other. So that is when they were able to locate the children. They knew that the children were out there. They knew that the children had not been killed instantly. They also knew the kids were injured. But once the other family members of mine arrived on the scene with the Mexican government, It was the federal government aiding them and also the army, parts of the Mexican army that are located or established in the state of Chihuahua, accompanied them all the way to the border line between the two states. And about 5 kilometers into Sonora is where this happened.
All right, that was live from Kansas City. Family members speaking out about the ambush attack that happened that has taken several American lives. Obviously, we're hearing still some confusion. They're still wondering about a lot of the information coming to them. She's saying she's getting most information that she's talking about from a 13-year-old boy who survived. I mean, this is tragic, and I think we wanted to get you right there to that live picture, but we also have some background information that we want to pass along as well.
Yeah, just horrific details coming from that press conference. Again, at least 9 members of a prominent Mormon family, Americans, 3 mothers and their children, were killed in a shooting by a Mexican drug cartel. And these victims were part of a church group. And Hillary Lane has the latest from New York.
Let's get you there.
Video posted to Facebook shows a scorched SUV that apparently contained 5 victims of a deadly ambush about 100 miles south of the U.S.-Mexico border.
This is for the record. Nita and 4 of my grandchildren are burnt and shot up.
The victims, who were all women and children, reportedly belonged to a religious community based in northern Mexico. The youngest victims were twin babies, just 7 months old. Leah Standen says her cousin was killed.
I think a lot of us are just speechless. It's horrific, and we just can't believe that this actually happened to our family. It just seems like a bad dream.
Mexican authorities are investigating whether the gunman may have mistaken the convoy for a rival drug gang. On Twitter, President Trump wrote, "If Mexico needs or requests help in cleaning out these monsters, the United States stands ready, willing, and able to get involved."
You know, I agree with the president when he says Mexico has to really knuckle down and go after some of these cartels and stop this escalating level of violence.
Some of the children survived the ambush but have gunshot wounds. Relatives say 5 children have been taken to the U.S. for treatment. Hillary Lane, CBS News.
All right, let's get you live to another story that's happening right now across several states in our nation. It's Election Day.
Yeah, this is a live look at Hayden, Kentucky, just one of many places where gubernatorial and legislative elections are happening. This all happening during impeachment proceedings against President Trump and a Democratic presidential primary scramble. Now, these elections are being closely watched by both parties because they could tell a lot about what may happen in 2020. And meanwhile, locally, Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard has filed nomination papers for the New Hampshire presidential primary. She did that this morning.
I love and appreciate so much the values and the independent spirit that we have found all across this state of New Hampshire that are truly rooted in the bedrock of our Constitution and our Bill of Rights.
From Hawaii News Now, this is a breaking news special report.
Sorry about that. That was Tulsi Gabbard there, speaking after signing her New Hampshire primary papers.
Yep, Gabbard's polling at about 2%. The New Hampshire primary is the first in the nation, and it's going to take place in February.
Man, that primary season is right around the corner. Tulsi's, what a ride she's been going on this campaign. I mean, just last week we've learned that she's giving up her seat here at home, and then the week before that it was the Clinton controversy. Who knows what's next?
Yeah, so she's polling at 2%. She needs to be at least 3 to be part of the next debate. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, let's talk about someone we haven't heard from in a while.
I know,
Very
Edward
controversial
Snowden
figure.
popping up out of nowhere, right? So he was speaking via webcam from Moscow at the annual Web Summit in Lipson, and he referenced Google, Facebook, and the big tech companies, saying their business models are abusive. Let's hear what he had to say.
Mistake that it makes is actually in the name. The General Data Protection Regulation misplaces the problem. The problem isn't data protection. The problem is data collection. Regulating the protection of data presumes that the collection of data in the first place was proper, that it was appropriate, that it doesn't represent a threat or a danger, that it's okay to spy on everybody all the time, whether they're your customers or whether they're your citizens, so long as it never leaks, so long as only you are in control of what it is that you've sort of stolen from everybody. And I would say not only is that incorrect, but if we learned anything from 2013, it's that eventually everything leaks.
That was Edward Snowden there talking.
Yeah, and if you remember back in 2013, he leaked classified information about the government's secret surveillance program while he was living here in Cunha.
All right, we have a story that's new to us right now. It's the first time we're going to hear about it. We just posted it to our website as well. And we're talking about ants.
Yeah, back here at home, several fields at the Central Maui Regional Sports Complex are closed because of tropical fire ants. Now, county officials say these ants are different from the invasive little fire ant, but fields 9 through 13 at the complex are closed until further notice for, of course, health and safety reasons. They say the affected areas are being treated and will be reassessed at the end of the week.
Oh, look at those guys.
Yeah, that's no fun, especially if you're playing sports on those fields.
Oh, all right, let's get to something positive here. That was some bummer news off the top. Let's take you outside to Waikiki. Beautiful day. I am jealous of whoever is out there right now. Looking pretty flat, but we have some Waikiki news.
Yep, work's taking place on a new sandbag groin. A 95-foot barrier will extend about 40 feet into the water, and it'll be about 18 feet wide and 4 feet tall. Crews will take sand from the shoreline further down the beach, and construction is expected to take about 2 to 3 weeks.
Hey, let's check out what exactly that weather is outside. Let's get it over to Guy Hoggy.
How's it on this Tuesday? I'm Guy Hoggy with your HawaiiNewsNow.com forecast. We have unsettled weather from a dissipating front, mainly over Kauai and Oahu. Even though Kauai is dry right now, they could get some afternoon thunderstorms. Here in Oahu, there are thunderstorms just to the south heading this way. So it's about to be pretty wet here on Oahu. That should last for much of the day. And again, with the light winds, some of those thunderstorms could be firing up in the afternoon as well. So there's a threat for the thunderstorm activity for the west end of the state, for Kauai, Niihau, and Oahu. It should be more settled with less rain for Maui County and the Big Island. But with the light winds, they'll likely see some afternoon clouds and some afternoon showers. High temperatures today getting into the upper 80s, but it's going to feel warmer than that because of the elevated humidity levels. Now, the winds will run soft and scrambled today. And because of that, that will allow humidity levels to rise into the, into the teens. It's going to be really, really hot and muggy out there. You can see those thunderstorms extending well to the south of Oahu. Now, the surf is on the way down. High surf advisories have been tossed out. Still going to be big and dangerous to some extent for north and west shores. So if you are unfamiliar with large surf, stay away, at least for one more day. South Shore is fun size at 2 to 4 feet. So we've got unsettled weather today. It's going to be much more comfortable tomorrow with fewer showers. The heavy downpours should be done tomorrow and Thursday with trade winds returning at moderate levels. But that's only for a short time because on Friday, light winds take over again and we could see more showers kind of form starting on Saturday. Keep it here on Hawaii News Now. We'll have all your severe weather updates.
All right, this goes along with exactly what Guy was talking about there. It's going to be another hot day, another humid day, and that's an all too frequent of occurrence.
That's right. If you feel like it's been abnormally hot this year, it's not your imagination, and that's because the National Weather Service says it's a seemingly unprecedented year of record-breaking or record-time temperatures. NWS said Tuesday that more than 225 heat records have been broken or tied so far this year. These numbers have been compiled from airports across the state since the beginning of the year. And the location with the highest number of heat records was Kahului with 50 records set.
And there we're taking a live look outside.
Oh, looks pretty ominous
from your
out
Aloha
there.
Tower. Yeah, it looks sort of gloomy actually, but I did say those humid conditions are really what's going to make it feel hot. So, man, please give us a break outside.
That would be nice.
Yeah, okay. Another good story. Everyone likes this. It's a sweet one, I would say. Yes, happy National Donut Day!
Apparently it's National Donut Day. Happy National Donut Day, Jonathan.
I heard there's two, but go ahead.
So studies say Americans eat about 10 billion donuts a year. If you do the math, that breaks down to about 31 donuts a person. How are you on that scale? Are you about average?
Oh, malasadas, yes. Donuts, not as much, but I don't know.
31 donuts is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And apparently the signature hole in the middle is to help ensure that they cook evenly. Check all your local bakeries and coffee shops. They may have some deals today.
That makes, I never knew the story behind the hole in the middle. All right, all right. Speaking of donuts, there's some controversy about Krispy Kreme. We all know how everyone around here likes to have those fundraisers, bring the donuts over, sell them for the good causes, but that's not exactly working out for everyone, especially on the mainland.
Yeah, but it might sound like he may have a good deal, and we're going to show you what we're talking about. In Minnesota, where, like here, well, we only have one Krispy Kreme location here, but in Minnesota, I guess they haven't had one in more than a decade. So this lover of Krispy Kreme donuts took his passion to the next level. Gaddy Schwartz has the story.
Let's check it out.
There's no other donut that compares, you know, the glaze, the taste, everything about it is just delicious.
Jason Gonzalez loves Krispy Kreme, but he and his fellow Minnesotans haven't had a store in their state for 11 years.
We used to always go, especially when I was little.
The closest shops are in Nebraska and Iowa, and 6 months ago, Gonzalez, a 21-year-old college student and soccer coach, had an excuse to make the 4-hour trek.
We had a big, huge Iowa tournament, and me being a Krispy Kreme fanatic, I knew that there was going to be a Krispy Kreme in Iowa. So I listed a Facebook post on the marketplace saying, hey, if you want some Krispy Kremes, let me know.
And it was a huge hit. With over 300 replies, the young entrepreneur was soon rolling in the dough.
I scaled the business from 0 followers in April all the way to 3,300 in October.
But just before his 20th donut run last week, Jason says a Krispy Kreme manager asked him to shut down his operation.
A lot of customers were pretty upset, and I don't blame them. You know, I was a little upset too.
For Gonzalez, this was about more than a deep love for donuts. He's trying to pay his way through school so he can graduate debt-free, a goal Krispy Kreme now says they want to help him achieve. On Monday, the company said they only intended to stop Gonzalez temporarily to ensure product quality and regulatory compliance. They announced that they are happy to work with Jason as an independent operator and that they'll be donating 500 dozen donuts when he restarts his business, which is pretty sweet news for Krispy Kreme-run Minnesota fans.
Anything that can bring back memories from my childhood and I can share with my kids, I'm willing to do.
Bringing a different kind of frost back to the Twin Cities.
I can fully operate as an independent operator and start doing, you know, what I love to do is bringing back donuts and making people happy again.
Hey, that did it in positive note there.
Yeah.
So no need to worry here at home. I think those fundraiser donuts are going to keep flowing.
Absolutely. And apparently Jason makes about $600 every day he does that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And they were going to donate him like 500 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, giving some freebies out there, I hope.
Yeah, and if you at home were thinking, hey, didn't we just have National Donut Day? You're right, there's actually two.
What?
Because the other one is on the first Friday in June, and it honors the Salvation Army lassies who served donuts to soldiers during World War I.
I think that means I get 2 birthdays this year, right?
Is that what that
2
means?
2 Christmases, two everything.
Sure.
Let's double up the holidays, as long as I get the day off too. All right, my favorite topic, and I know it's not exactly Ashley's. Kittens!
Halloween this past week, and a black cat is running across. So we've gone from seeing ghosts to black cats now on Monday Night Football in MetLife.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you missed Monday Night Football last night, the star of the Giants-Cowboy matchup was this black cat.
Aww.
I know, he was spotted casually trotting down the field in the middle of the second quarter towards the end zone, but then the cat's pace picked up when several state troopers tried to catch it. The cat wasn't having it and jumped into the crowd, sending them into a frenzy, then ran to the back of the field, scored a touchdown, and then exited through one of the tunnels. It's unclear if authorities ever caught it.
I hope he just lives under the bleachers. It's like the stadium cat. But he's more agile than many of the players out there last night. Go, kitty. That's awesome. All right, that's going to do it for us here. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. It's brand new. We just started doing this. And this is now on HNN. And I'm Jonathan Sapi.
I'm Ashley Nagaoka. Thanks for watching.
Yep, and let's just leave you with one more kitty run. Oh, there he goes!
Ladies and gentlemen, Felix has left the building.